I still remember the exact moment my body betrayed me in front of everyone. I was 23, wiping down tables at the little cafe where I'd worked for 3 years, when the familiar wave of fire shot through my legs. My knees buckled. The tray crashed. Customers gasped. My boss pulled me aside, voice tight with pity and annoyance. "Ava, we can't keep covering for you. The customers are complaining. I'm sorry. You're let go." Just like that. No severance, no goodbye cake. Just a cardboard box with my apron and a note that said, "Good luck." The illness had no name. Doctors called it undiagnosed autoimmune flare. Chronic pain that made every step feel like walking on broken glass. Fatigue so heavy I sometimes slept 16 hours and still woke up exhausted. I'd hidden it as long as I could, but bills don't care about invisible pain. 2 weeks later, the eviction notice was taped to my door. My roommate had already changed the locks. I stood on the sidewalk in the pouring rain, suitcase at my feet, soaked to the bone, pain screaming through every joint. No family to call, no savings, just the cold truth that I was now homeless. I dragged that suitcase through the city for 3 nights, sleeping on park benches. Pain so bad I cried silently so no one would hear. The rain never stopped. Hunger mixed with the ache until I couldn't tell which was worse. On the 4th night, under a flickering streetlight, I scrolled a borrowed phone one last time. The ad glowed on the cracked screen. Abandoned 1920s farmhouse. Needs total renovation. $1. Must take immediate possession. Rural county. 180 miles north. $1. It felt like a joke from the universe. But the photos showed a big wooden house with a wraparound porch and an overgrown garden. I had exactly $47 and a heart that refused to quit. I borrowed bus fare from a kind stranger at the shelter and bought a one-way ticket. The county clerk looked at me like I was crazy when I signed the papers. "That place has been empty since old Mrs. Eleanor passed. Good luck, honey." The bus dropped me off at dusk. The farmhouse rose out of the mist like it had been waiting, peeling white paint, vines choking the windows. But the porch light, somehow still working, flickered on as if welcoming me home. I pushed the heavy door open. Inside smelled of old wood, damp earth, and faint lavender. I dropped my suitcase and whispered, "Please, just let me rest." The first weeks were pure survival. I scrubbed floors on my knees even when the pain made me gasp. I patched holes in the roof with plastic and duct tape I found in the shed. No electricity at first, so I used candles and the little solar lantern I'd carried from the city. Every night the house creaked and sighed like it was breathing with me. My body screamed. Some mornings I couldn't even stand. But the quiet here was different. No one yelling at me to move faster. No pitying stares, just me and the house learning to trust each other. Then the strange things started. In the overgrown garden behind the house, plants I'd never seen glowed softly at night under the moonlight. Not fireflies. The leaves themselves. I thought the pain was making me hallucinate. One afternoon, while prying up a loose floorboard in the kitchen to fix a squeak, I found a small metal box. Inside, yellowed pages, torn from a journal, written in elegant handwriting. "If you're reading this, the pain has found you too. The cure grows right outside. Trust the garden." My hands shook so hard I dropped the paper. That night, the pain hit worse than ever. I collapsed on the living room floor, body on fire, vision blurring. I crawled toward the back door, desperate for air. The glowing plants seemed to pulse brighter, calling me. I remembered the journal. With the last of my strength, I pulled myself into the garden, plucked a handful of the strange silvery leaves, and chewed them raw. The taste was bitter, earthy, alive. Within minutes, the fire in my veins began to cool. Not gone, but quieter. For the first time in 2 years, I slept without waking in agony. The next morning, I tore the house apart looking for more answers. Behind a false wall in the upstairs bedroom, I found it, the hidden room. Shelves of glass jars, dried herbs, handwritten notebooks stacked to the ceiling, and a large envelope addressed to my granddaughter Ava. My heart stopped. I had never known my grandmother. Mom always said she died before I was born. But here was my name, in her handwriting. I opened the envelope with trembling fingers. Pages and pages of letters. Eleanor, my real grandmother, had the exact same illness. Genetic. Passed down. My mother had known and hidden it. Terrified I'd be cursed, like her own mother. Eleanor had spent 30 years in secret, developing a natural cure from the plants she cultivated right here. She knew one day the illness would find me. When she realized she was dying, she arranged for the house to go into tax foreclosure so it would sell for $1, hoping only someone truly desperate would claim it. Someone like me. The plot twist hit me like lightning. The house wasn't random. It had been waiting for me my whole life. Every painful step, every night on the street, every tear had been leading me here to the grandmother I never knew. To the cure she left behind because she loved me before I was even born. I followed her notes exactly. I brewed the tea, tended the garden, restored the old still she used to distill the medicine. Week by week the pain faded. Strength returned to my legs. I could walk the porch without crying. I fixed the house with my own hands, painted the walls soft sage green. The plot twist hit me like lightning. The house wasn't random. It had been waiting for me my whole life. Every painful step, every night on the street, every tear had been leading me here to the grandmother I never knew. To the cure she left behind because she loved me before I was even born. I followed her notes exactly. I brewed the tea, tended the garden, restored the old still she used to distill the medicine. Week by week the pain faded. Strength returned to my legs. I could walk the porch without crying. I fixed the house with my own hands, painted the walls soft sage green, planted flowers along the path, turned the hidden room into a little apothecary. The farmhouse became home. I'm 24 now. The doctors are stunned. They call it a miracle. I call it love that refused to die. Some evenings I sit on the porch with a cup of Eleanor's tea, watching the garden glow softly under the stars, and I talk to her out loud. Thank you, Grandma. I finally came home. Planted flowers along the path, turned the hidden room into a little apothecary. The farmhouse became home. I'm 24 now. The doctors are stunned. They call it a miracle. I call it love that refused to die. Some evenings I sit on the porch with a cup of Eleanor's tea, watching the garden glow softly under the stars, and I talk to her out loud. Thank you, Grandma. I finally came home. If you're out there right now hurting, broke, feeling like your body and the world have given up on you, please hear me. Sometimes the broken places are exactly where the cure has been growing all along. Keep walking. Keep believing. Your $1 miracle might be waiting behind a creaky door, whispering your name in the dark, and somewhere in the quiet, a grandmother you never met is smiling, because she made sure you would find it.